Any of you who's having the experience of giving the JAB exam, or we have the fresh batch only, fine, the freshers as we call it. Yes, yes, Chaitanya, we have one dedicated WhatsApp group. I'll be sharing the link also. Okay. So here is the link. Right. All of you should join this particular WhatsApp group. Whosoever is the paid user of ours, fine. Those who are watching it on the YouTube, you can also join this group if you enroll in our paid classes. Okay, this is exclusively for the paid students. Fine, fine. So I can see that on YouTube there are no doubts as such. So let's begin our session, right? If you guys have any doubt in between, also you can ask me. So first thing first, let's see that how the overall JAB examination will happen this time. So when we talk about the JAB examination, its notification is not out yet, but it is expected that by the end of January, or for that matter, initial days of February itself, you will find the registration. Fine, the registration will commence from the first week of February. That is the expectation based on the previous exam cycles. Okay, so this point you should note. And when we talk about the syllabus, because right now in the market n number of things are going on, that the syllabus will change, because in the annual report they have mentioned that they are changing the syllabus, or modifying the syllabus for certain certification courses. So till now, till today, you need not to worry about any syllabus change. What you should do, what should be your approach, that you must focus on the conceptual clarity. That is all what we can do. In case the syllabus changes, we are here to help you out. So when we say the junior associate of IIBF examination, what all subjects are there? We have IEIFS, Indian Economy, Indian Financial System, comprising of 45 units. Then we have PPB, comprising of 55 units. Again, good number of units are there, maximum number of units are there in PPB. Then back to back exam of PPB and AFM will happen if we go by the previous exam cycles trend. AFM 35 units are there, again accounts heavy. Then we have RBWM, the retail banking and wealth management, where you will find 30 units. And do not take this subject lightly. In the May 2025, we have seen that certain candidates, certain deserving candidates, were unable to crack this examination of JAB or DBF thanks to this subject. Normally, we feel that this is an easier subject, but in May 2025, they asked some tough questions. Okay, so this is how the four subjects will be there. The first exam will be of IFS, then followed by PPB, and the next day itself you will have the AFM examination. So here you should strategize, and we can say that this is also one of the reason why you must focus on PPB. Already it is having the maximum number of units. Over the top of it, the next day itself you will be having the AFM exam also, and then lastly the RPWM. So if we talk about the subject specific orientations, you will be getting it in IFS also, AFM, RBWM also. But what is the common? What all things, what all characteristics are common in this particular JAB examination, which is will be followed by all these four subjects? So you will be asked, you will be tested on the basis of facts. Right? We talk about the conceptual clarity, but mostly we have found that in the JAB examination, they ask facts and the concepts, the underlying concepts you must know, but ultimately you have to revise, retain certain facts as well. But the first stage is your conceptual clarity. Then comes facts, analyzing those particular concepts and jotting down the important facts, factoids. And numericals are also asked. Specifically, I'm telling AFM, everybody knows that numericals will be asked. That's the inherent nature of this subject. But in PPB as well as RBWM, you can expect good number of numericals. In May 2025, they asked approximately 15% of the questions, they were from the numericals. And these numericals are not tough if your concepts are clear, if you know how to apply the formula, right? So first thing is this only, which I want to share with all of you, that you should be having this mindset while approaching this subject of PPB, that numericals will be asked. Then what makes this examination tough overall? In the recent past, you must have seen your colleagues who have given this examination. They must be telling you that the subjects are very, very tough. The paper is very, very tough. We are unable to crack this exam even after good amount of practice. Why it happens? Because of the tough nature of the questions. Interpretation is required now. You cannot just solely rely on certain PDFs and just go in the examination and have 50 plus marks. No, you have to have the conceptual clarity and good reading speed. So reading speed also matters. So if you are somebody who is not well versed with the method, that how we should read a particular question, how we should approach a particular question, then I would highly recommend that attend our classes. In our classes also, we have dedicated slots in within the class itself, where we try to solve the questions, the MCQs, and how you should approach those MCQs, that also we inculcate, right? So interpretation of options, ultimately it will decide your fate in the examination. How well you interpret the options, you only based on that you will be able to crack this examination. If the exam comes easy, then it is for everybody, right? Then you need not to have good conceptual knowledge also. But we are here to prepare you for the toughest examination, right? Then the common thing in all these four subjects, you will find that three categories of questions will be asked: 0.5 marker, 1 marker, and 2 marker. And why I am mentioning this here in your orientation? Because we have seen many students ignoring this 0.5 marker. They feel that these are the easy set of questions, we will be able to solve them directly in the examination, and they flunk the examination thanks to this particular category of questions. So do not take this category lightly. We have seen that students, they are unable to qualify because of 1 or 2 marks, and you can easily grab these 1 or 2 marks from this particular category. 1 and 2, definitely they are difficult, no doubt about that, but do not ignore this. Also, right now there is no negative marking. So if your interpretation is not at high level, fine, the level of interpretation is not at high level, still you can crack this exam, because you can do what? You can eliminate the options and take chances, fine, take some risk. I'm not saying that take 100% risk, at least take 5% risk while sitting in the examination hall, because there is no negative marking, and this will ultimately lead to multiplication of your score, fine. I'm not saying addition, it will, you will see the compounding numbers in your examination, fine. So yes, this is the basic idea of JAIIB examination, how you should approach it. The basics, I think everybody knows that 100 marks will be at stake, and you have to have the 50 marks. That is the minimum criteria of passing the JAIIB examination, or for that matter DBF, Diploma in Banking and Finance, for all those non-bankers who are out there. And when we talk about the single attempt, in single attempt, if you score, let's suppose 45, 45, 45 and 60, then also you can qualify. You stand a chance to qualify. Why? Because the cumulative score should be 200 marks of all the four subjects. Okay. Now let's try to decide that what should be the examination date, because if you don't know your target, you won't be able to take it very, very seriously. And the target starts with the date. Okay. So the examination, as based on the previous year's interpretation, it will be in May itself. The first week will be having the IFS examination. So 3rd May, you can expect the IFS examination. Then on Saturday, the Saturday of 8th May, you can 9th May, yes, 9th May, we can expect the PPB examination, and 10th May, we can expect the AFM exam. So more or less, what should be the target date in your mind right now? It should be your 9th of May. That is the expected date, and the registration will commence from February itself. There is no doubt about it. Okay, so you will be able to register most probably starting from 2nd of Feb, or for that matter 9th of Feb. There won't be delay, any further delay, as per the previous exam trends, right? Now comes the question that what are the types of questions are asked, right? When we talk about certain questions which are common in all the subjects, the type of questions which we will witness in all the subjects. For that, you will have to attend each and every exams, each and every subject's orientation. But right now, what I am trying to discuss is that how the questions are asked in PPB, specifically for PPB. Okay, so first thing which makes this exam much more difficult as compared to the other exam is the case study based questions. You will find good amount of questions from the case studies. So module A and module B, these two are the modules from where difficult type of case studies will be asked. And why difficult? Because of the big cases. The cases are not small at all. The 2 marker cases are huge. They have 10 to 15 lines. So you have to interpret those particular statements, those particular options based on your conceptual clarity, and then only you will be able to go with the correct answer. But when we say that module D for the ethics, it has the basis, fine, it has the basis of case study. What is this basis? Basis simply means that it all started with module D. Earlier in PPB you were asked smaller case studies based on A and B, but from module D, from day one itself, they are asking good amount of case study based questions. So yes, module D is also case study heavy along with A and B. And to our surprise, we have seen that from module C also, 1 or 2 cases they have started asking. So you cannot ignore the case study based question. Whenever you sit in front of your computer screens, try to practice as many cases as possible. And along with that, the case study based questions, you will also find real life based questions. Now, what are these real life based questions? Simply stated, real life based questions are those which you have already witnessed in your banking career. You must have witnessed certain cases, certain, you can say, situations in the bank itself, which can directly be asked in the examination. And using your skill, whatever you have acquired while witnessing, while handling such case in the bank, you can easily answer the questions. So do not ignore such real life based questions also. You won't be you will be surprised, I would say, if you directly go in the examination and you will find 5 to 6 questions which do not require any kind of conceptual knowledge as such, right? The hidden knowledge will be from your own experience, and based on that you can directly answer those questions. There will be certain questions like, then we have database questions in PPB. Do not ignore these as well. The database questions, mostly they will ask from the updates. RBI keeps on updating the norms, the regulations, the stipulations in the banking industry, and database questions will be there, right, from the updates of RBI. And for our examination, that is May 2026, what is the criteria? Till when you have to cover the updates? Till December 2025. So whatever notifications you have seen till 31st of December 2025, you should inculcate that in your study. Then we have multiple statement based questions. These type of questions are the most difficult ones. Case study based questions you still can solve, but multiple statement based questions, sometimes they do what? They ask you 7 to 8 statements, and the statements are not from a simple or a single topic. Multiple topics clubbed together, they form one question. So your mind should go from one concept to another, try to decipher that where I have studied this particular topic, and then only you will be able to answer. That makes this multiple statement based question much more difficult. Lastly, the formula based. See, in PPB, nobody will be asking you the questions, the numerical questions, like they'll be asking you in AFM. but certain formulas you must remember. If you just remember the formulas and how to apply those formulas, your life will be much more easier. Today is your first day, I'm telling you this. And formula based questions, you should not ignore them. Many students, they flunk in the examination for two reasons only. They do not have the strong hold on these point 0.5 marker questions, and they ignore the formulas. And the formulas are not there in every module, right? Only module B has the formulas. And those formulas, based on those formulas itself, you can have the 5 to 6 marks in your final score, right? So yes, the types of questions, I hope that you should be implementing all these criterias, all these norms, whatever the IIBF is asking in your study as well. Now comes the module wise preference. Many students who are watching this session, they must be curious that whether we should have a preference or not. See, we are sitting in January, so I won't recommend you to have any kind of preference. Fine. Right now we have time, we have the study slots with us, and you guys have enrolled in our course, so do not worry about the preference. That is the thing I want to say, because ultimately what happens when we start our discussion with the preference itself, then half the battle is lost, because your mindset is that we just want to have the important pointers and we want to crack this examination. And when you go to the examination hall, sit there, and you realize that the preference which we have studied with, it is not at all in line with the actual examination. So whosoever is telling you that yes, this preference you must follow, right now it is not making sense at all. Yes, at later stage you can have, let's suppose in March or April, while revising you must have preference, but whenever you are completing the syllabus, complete it line by line, whatever we are giving you in the batches. Fine. So module A, module B, module C, module D. When we talk about the preference based on the marks distribution, normally what happens, IIBF asks maximum questions from either module B or module A, then from module C, and then from module D. That is the preference of IIBF in the past. But nobody can say for sure that they will be asking the more questions from A only, or for that matter B only. It's a mix. And similar is the case with C and D. They cannot, nobody can say that D module is the most important module because it involves ethics in banks. Right? So try to cover every chapter in detail with us and try to ask a number of doubts. Ultimately, if you do not solve the doubts while sitting in the exam, in the class of ours, which will be of 1 hours approximately, then there is no point of attending a live class. Fine. So try to attend the live class, whatever the doubts are there, then and there only. Within this 1 hour, they must be gone. There should not be any doubt in your mind after the class is over. Okay. So module wise, when we talk about the units, overall units are 55. Fine. That makes this examination the bulky one out of all the subjects. And module A, B, C, D, what are the themes? See, I always tell students that try to study using the themes. Do not just go with the perception that yes, this is unit number 1, let me study this, then I will go to unit number 2, then unit number 3. No, this sequence 1, 2, 3, 4 is useful when you are covering the syllabus. Once you have covered the syllabus, then try to have a thematic outline of each unit. I'll be telling you how to do that, but right now focus on this thing, that we are not here to rote learn. We want you to apply these concepts in the real life banking as well. So module wise, IIBF has given the syllabus, and when we talk about these modules, you will have all the so-called core departments of banks covered in these modules. So module A more or less will talk about the deposits. That is the theme of this particular module. Module B talks about the advances section, or for that matter, credit section, the loan department as we call it. Then we provide the mobile banking, the mobile services under the digital technology. Right? So bank is providing what kind of services? cash, check, under deposits. Then it provides loans to various fields under credit department. Then the third service, the most important service, or for that matter, right now, what we are utilizing the most, it is from the digital zone. Fine. So digital technology using their mobile application, or for that matter, third party application. So that is the third theme, digital banking, you can say. Lastly, this particular module, that is module D, you won't be utilizing the knowledge which you have gained on regular basis from module D, but in certain situations where you have to perform exceptionally, or for that matter you have to analyze the situation and then take decision, this module will help you a lot, because it talks about ethics in banks and financial institutions. So whether a banker must go with the flow, that whatever the seniors are saying they should follow, or for that matter try to have their own mindset from the previous learnings, that will be learning in your module D. So the units which we will be starting off with your officers batch, the live classes will be from here, module A. The module C, module D already are covered, and you will be having the recorded classes of module C and D. But don't worry, this does not mean that you won't be able to ask any doubts. Whatever doubts you have in these modules, you can directly ask me on the WhatsApp. Fine. The WhatsApp link I have already shared. You can ask n number of doubts on that particular group. Okay, so we'll be starting your classes with module A, then move on to the functions of banks. That is your module B. Now let's see one by one that what all chapters are there in every module. So module A talks about journal banking operations. What are these journal banking operations? The theme is deposits. And some miscellaneous topics will be there, but overall theme is deposits only. And this deposits, we feel that only check and cash, these are the two instruments via which we are operating the entire deposits section. But the answer is no. You should know the basics also, that in the account opening, what all regulations we must follow, the serious regulations we must follow, PMLA, KYC guidelines. Then when we talk about the Consumer Protection Act, the Ombudsman scheme, how it is implemented, why it should be implemented, everything that will be able to learn only when we have the basics clear, and we utilize them in the banking sector indirectly. No, in this only, in this batch only, you will be having the recordings, the module C and D. They will be aligned. If not visible today, you will have it by the EOD. Okay. Otherwise, if you are the Mahapack user, in the other batches, they are already done. Module C and D, you can find the classes, and the PDFs are also there. So I would suggest everybody, if you have already covered on your own the module C and D, because most of the bankers have given the exam already in the previous attempts also, try to download the PDF, read from there, and if you find any difficulty, go to the recorded video. Again, if you are not feeling that I am unable to grasp whatever is covered in the video section also, then you can directly post a comment on the WhatsApp group, right, with your doubt. Okay, so module A, journal banking operations, we will be starting off with the simple thing, banker customer relationship, how the customer is related to a bank, or for that matter, what are the obligation on the bank towards the customer and vice versa. So various relationships we will be studying. Then comes the AML KYC guidelines, more or less when we talk about the terror finance, the money laundering which is happening across the globe, how we can curb it utilizing the banking industry. So PMLA obligations are there, you have to follow certain KYC guidelines. Then comes the operational aspects of KYC, and when we start using the themes, right, the themes which I was telling you, you will find that the initial 3 chapters, they are under the theme 1. You can call them as the generics, right? The generics of banking, which you must know upfront, so as to make sense in the upcoming chapters, or for that matter upcoming topics. Then comes the opening accounts of various types of customers. You have saving bank, then current account, all these accounts, operational aspects of the deposit accounts, right? So more or less here also you will find a theme which will be your deposits, right? The deposit accounts, all those deposit accounts, and the types of customers where you will find various types. The individual customer will be there, then we have the non-individual customer in the form of proprietorship, partnership firm, HUF, company, one person company, public enterprise, private enterprise. All these will be covering in the types of customers. So we'll be defining the types of customers first, then what all deposit accounts can be there. And after that, we will be moving towards the operational aspect of these accounts only. Because if you have the deposits account, then only clearing, collection, or check or cash will be transacted. Fine. So the foundational chapter according to the syllabus will be your opening the accounts of various types of customers. So from here till the banker special relationship, you will have the second theme, which is the deposits, right? In the deposits account, what all is important, that will be covered till the banker special relationship. Next, when we say the another theme, the third theme will be forex. Very important theme. Direct questions are being asked from here nowadays. So forex, you will find the forex remittance facilities for individuals, then the operational aspects of NRI business, how the NRI can transact within their own country wherever they are residing, and if they want to repatriate the funds to India, whether there are any stipulations or not. So various types of accounts we will be also studying in this forex theme. Foreign currency accounts for residents and other aspects. So more or less the regulation like this FCRA 2010, that is very important. Another important aspect is the foreign currency accounts for the residents. Various accounts again we'll be studying in this chapter as well. Fine. So when we talk about this theme, the forex theme will be your third theme. Okay. Now the deposits was the second theme, and here you see that 1, 2 and 3, these three chapters, they are directly related to the deposits. But not only these three, the upcoming ones are also directly related to your deposits. Cash management services and its importance, and here we will be finding the CTS, which is very important. The second phase of continuous clearing system has been deferred, so it makes it all together very important for our examination. So theme 2 only is extended from this chapter, CMS. Then we have payment and collection of checks, other negotiable instruments, again directly related to the deposits. Responsibility of paying and the collecting bank. Fine. So here till here also you have the second theme only, theme 2 of deposits. Fine. So I am assuming that you will be able to correlate these themes once we complete the syllabus. I'm not saying that from today only you start reading by clubbing these topics. No. The idea is to inform you that everything related to your deposits will be covered in module A. Fine. Then we have ancillary services. The ancillary services, more or less NEFT, RTGS, EBT, although you should study them in module C, but in module A itself they have mentioned because day-to-day banking includes them. Fine. So NEFT, RTGS, electronic fund transfer, all these we will be learning in the ancillary services. Then comes the miscellaneous topics. Fine. Miscellaneous topics means the rules, regulations, all those norms which are laid down by the RBI, which will run the journal banking. So financial inclusion, financial literacy, how you should include every citizen of our country into the financial ambit of the nation. Then customer service guidelines, all those guidelines which are very much necessary, without which we cannot provide the banking services to the customers. Then duties and rights of banker and the customer's right as well. So the theme 1, it had this banker customer relation, and then in the theme 2 we have seen bankers special relation, the right of appropriation etc. will be there. Similarly Here also you will find the duties and rights of banker as well as the customer. So you, if you want, you can have this as a separate theme as well. Theme 3 you can call it, right? Theme 4, sorry, forex is the third theme, so let us call these as theme 4. Okay, I hope that this idea is clear to everybody. That's why I am, again and again telling you that themes must be kept in mind, because otherwise you will be lost in the huge syllabus of module A, right? So theme 4, you can call these three chapters: banker customer relationship, banker special relationship, and duties and rights of banker and customer rights. And these themes you must follow once we have covered the syllabus. While revising, you should revise like that, because this will provide the linkage between all these topics. And if the question is asked from any of these topics, you will be able to make much more sense while solving the questions. Okay. Then comes the rules, the regulations I was talking about. Grievance redressal RBI integrated ombudsman scheme 2021. Now many students will be having this doubt that the ombudsman scheme 2026 has been revised now, right? 21 was the earlier scheme. Now in the last week itself, 2-3 days back only, RBI has revised it to 2026. So whether we should read 26 or 21, you must read 21 only. But don't worry, we will be giving you the updated study material as well, so that even if IIBF asks you for the 2026, you should be able to answer. Then comes the Consumer Protection Act 2019, the adjudicating authority. Very, very important. Every time they ask one question, that who will be chairing which type of committee. We have the committees at the state level, district level, central level. These types of questions are very important. Then Right to Information Act 2005, again, the theory as well as the practical implications, how the cases are solved using the RTI, that is very, very important. Okay, so overall, when we see the module A, you can easily divide it in 4 or 5 themes according to your liking. But the most important theme will be your theme 2, which talks about the deposits, right? This one, this and this. Okay, you have to have strong hold on these topics. And the second most important theme would be your forex. These are the two themes from which maximum questions you will find, right? 70 to 80% questions of module A will be revolving around these two themes only, right? So till here, any doubt you have, any kind of doubt, feel free to ask me. Okay, so I'm assuming that there are no doubts. Good. Next is module B, the functions of banks. Now, when we see the functions of banks, we feel that everything, starting from the clearing, starting from taking the deposit, starting from opening the account, will be there in the module B. But no, this is not like that. The better way to put module B would be advances. Right? Advances. Because everything, whatever you study here, they are directly related to the advances section of the bank. Okay, starting off with the basics. So here also we will be starting with the basics only. What are the principles of lending? How we should lend? Fine, these are the basic principles. Different types of the borrowers will be there. Then types of credit facility, the fund based, non fund based. For that fund based, what all facilities are provided, non fund based, what are the categories, everything will be learning here. Then appraisal and the assessment of credit facility, how you should appraise. One proposal is there in front of you, customer has just visited the branch and he or she wants to have a particular amount. Which type of loan will you provide to that customer? Because the customer is not knowing. Nowadays, so everybody knows everything. But in general, what is the mode of operation? How you will appraise, how you will go through the loan proposal. Then we have operational aspects of loan accounts. Now, operational aspects, they are the most important ones. If you have given the promotion exams also, you will find questions from here only, because they talk about the recovery. Fine, you will be able to learn the basics of recovery from the operational aspects of loan accounts. Ultimately, the banks are providing loan to you from their own funds. Fine, they are not borrowing from the government. Most of the funds they are making profit and providing it to you as loan. So the banks are providing their own funds to you, and whenever we talk about these loans, they come with the inherent risk of failing. So how you will be recovering the amount which you have given to the customers once this risk is real? All this thing we will be learning here. Then we have types of collaterals. In order to save our skin, being a banker, we should have certain collateral that once the loan is not repayable or the customer has denied to pay for a number of reasons, whether we have any kind of asset which we can sell and recover the amount. Right? The types of collaterals we will be learning here: secured, unsecured loans, different modes of charging the securities. What all modes are there? So you charge securities, everybody knows that, but how? What are the modes? That will be learning here. Then documentation, again very important. So when we talk about the advances section, you should know from the step one only that yes, these are the documents, these are the loan guidelines, and once the loan fails, or for that matter we are unable to have the entire principal plus interest amount from the customers and recovered, how we should proceed. And here comes the NPA, the non-performing assets, stressed assets, prudential norms, NPA management. You will be learning from here. So this chapter, operational aspects of loan accounts, along with that your NPA management. These two will form the basis of recovery. Then comes the laws which are backing this recovery under the important laws relating to the recovery of dues. The Debts and Bankruptcy Act, you have the SARFAESI Act, and three or four important regulations will be there, which we'll be learning in the classes. Then we have various contracts of indemnity, guarantee, bank guarantee, how we should approach a particular case whenever there is a contract of indemnity involved, whenever there is a contract of guarantee. Then how the guarantee is different from the DPG, deferred payment guarantee, which will be provided by the other party, the third party. Then the non-fund based facility, letter of credit, very very important. Every year they ask questions from your letter of credit. The process flow you should remember, the types of LCs, laws relating to the bill finance, personal finance. Fine. Very very important. These laws are also important, although smaller chapters, but all those laws which are mentioned, they are pretty much important. Fine. Personal finance, basic, credit card, home loan, consumer loan, the basic guidelines. Fine. So do not worry if you do not know any of this, because we will be learning from the scratch in our classes. That is the USP, that we start from the scratch only, and you should be able to answer each and every question once you complete the module B. Because what we are expecting this time, maximum question will be from module B because of the latest guidelines. I mean, guidelines of RBI, they are very very important, and many changes have been made in the past 1 year by the RBI, so directly related to the credit section. Then comes the most important topic. You will find this topic in every subject, be it in JAIIB or for that matter CAIIB also. Priority sector advances. Fine. So the ANBC calculation is the most important topic under subtopic under the PSA for PPB, but we'll be starting off with the RBI's master circular. All those stipulations which has been revised by the RBI, will be looking into that. Recently also they have revised the PSA. We will cover that also in our classes. Then comes the agri finance, very important for all of you who are working in the rural branches, or for that matter they will be taking the rural banking as their elective in the upcoming CAIIB exam. So agricultural finance, you should be able to distinguish it from the retail credit. This is just the agri credit. How the KCC is being forwarded to the customers. What is the investment line of credit? How it is different from the short-term lending? Everything will be learning here. Then comes the MSME. The important guidelines of government will be included here. Then government sponsored schemes, all those schemes, be it the NRLM, NULM, Jandhan Yojana, Mudra scheme, everything will be covered here. APY, then we have the Jeevan Jyoti Bima, every government scheme will be covered in detail. Then comes the SHG, self-help group. Mostly you will find the loans, right? The loans under the day NRLM to for the SHGs from where the question will be asked. But don't worry, we'll be starting off with the scratch. Okay. So this was the overview of your module B. We are talking about the advances section. Now comes module C, banking technology, and this particular module uh, justifies its name. All the topics, all the units which we will be learning, it revolves only around the technology. Starting off with the basic, that is computerization, how the bank computerization happened, why it happened, and what has it changed. So we'll be learning here. Then operational aspects of CPS environment. What do we mean by end of day, beginning of day, password control? Very basic, right? Normally, when we talk about the first two chapters, I always say to the students that these are the basics. Right? Even if you do not study them in detail, you will be able to make sense of the questions which they ask. The most important aspect which you should understand in module C, it is your fourth chapter, that is data communication networks, EFT systems, how they work. Right? The network system, mostly the non-engineer students, they find it difficult, but don't worry, we have included only those topics which are important for our examination and they get repeated in every exam cycle, so that you can have a targeted approach of this part of completing this particular chapter. Then we also have alternate delivery channels. Apart from the banks, apart from the physical branches, how the customer is receiving the services from the bank. So via the alternate delivery channels. Like we have mobile banking, digital banking, internet banking, ATMs, right? Then digital payment system specifically related to NPCI. So National Payment Corporation of India, what all changes it is coming up with, it is covered in this chapter. What is the impact of technology adoption, trends in banking technology, and the last chapter you should include while studying this chapter, right? Impact of technology adoption and trends in banking technology. After that, you must switch to the last chapter of module C, because these are the same, or for that matter, an extension of each other. So in the trends in banking technology, you will see what e-rupee, fintech, regtech. What is the difference between subtech and regtech? Hashtag banking, kiosk bank. All these you will be learning in this particular chapter. So my advice to all of you would be that while reading the PDF, try to study the last chapter and your impact of technology adoption and trends in banking technology simultaneously. Then comes the last theme of module C, which is the prevention of cybercrime and fraud management. These two chapters go hand in hand because you will be talking about the security consideration, the mitigation measures in banks. Along with that, operational aspects of cybercrime, how the crimes happen, what all important terms are there. They ask the questions from the terms itself, phishing, how it is different from phishing, what is the DDoS attack, how the hacking it happens in the systems, and what are the remedial measures. All these topics we'll be doing in these two chapters. Okay, so module C, I hope there is no doubt, or for that matter in any of the discussion points which we have discussed right now. Fine, everything is clear. Fine. Now let's move on to the last module's discussion, that is module D, ethics in banks and financial institutions. So more or less you have only these chapters. These 5 chapters are there, and using these 5 chapters you can easily grab 10 to 15 marks. Right? They ask good amount of questions from the case studies also, and when we say the relevance of these 5 chapters, it is immense. Do not ignore this particular module. Worst case scenario, there will be 10 marks from this particular module. They do not go lower than this particular number. So 10 marks from 5 chapters, I think it's a good deal. So ethics, banking ethics and banking, how the ethics has evolved. What do we mean by ethics, and why we are utilizing the term along with the business, when you already know that ethics is what we are going with the good and bad. We are deciding that whether a particular action should be deemed good or bad. Then in the business, what we do, we are here for the profit maximization. Whatsoever the situation be, we should earn profit. Then how we are relating these two terms, because of which this discussion arises, that it is indeed, the business ethics is indeed an oxymoron term. It is not making any sense. So we will be discussing that why it makes sense, and why we should utilize the business ethics in banks also. Then ethics at individual level. Individually, what should be your values? Whether there should be a set standard of morality or not. What all conflicts will be there while deciding option A as compared to situation B. Then ethical dimension for the employees, specifically for the employees of an organization. Insider trading should be done or not? What are the HRM ethics, fair accounting practices? Everything we'll be learning in the third chapter of module D. Then comes the work ethics, how you should behave, how you should approach a particular task in the workplace. So unethical behavior should not be there. Whistleblowing, very very important from here. Every year they ask question. In the first chapter itself, you will find the cases, the case studies already mentioned in the book, like the Satyam case. Repeatedly, they have asked the question from here. What are the learnings from these cases? Fine. The you can say past cases, the old cases, they will be there in each of these chapters, so as to learn something from those cases, so as to not repeat the same mistakes. Then we have the last chapter, banking ethics, the changing dynamics, and how we should approach in this changing dynamics our day-to-day banking. More emphasis will be on the IPR, intellectual property rights, that whether we should be able to sustain a particular business even if we breach the IPRs or not. So some sort of discussion will be there. More or less, when we say that module D is important, at the same time it is interesting as well. Fine. All of you who like to have good discussion, good debate, they will enjoy learning this particular module. And for those also who do not enjoy any debate, and they are not so keen to understand from the previous you can say previous trends, that yes, this particular case happened in 2000 and these are the learnings, don't worry, we have simplified everything for you. Just focus on the PDFs and your live classes, you will be able to grasp most of this. Fine. Okay, so this was it for your orientation class. The plan, we will be beginning from our classes. Uh, it is in front of you, but I would say that right now focus on the concepts. Right? The concepts will define that whether we will be able to crack this examination or not. So the month of January, whatever is remaining here, then February and March, these months you should be able to learn the concepts in depth concepts, not at the fringe. No, in depth concepts must be there. And the discussion, whatever discussion you want, we can have it here also, or for that matter on the group, dedicated group, which I have shared the link of. Okay, fine. So any doubt you have, now is the time, you can ask me any kind of doubt. For all of you who are watching this session on YouTube, let me just remind that already the Republic Day sale is live. As you know that our nation will be celebrating the 77th Republic Day, and a small token of appreciation from our team in the form of sale. We have given you huge discounts to our bankers for the JAIIB Mahapack, and the prices are in front of you. You will be able to have 3x validity on this Mahapack also. So if you want to enroll in the Mahapacks, just call on this number 0981981947 and grab you the best deal. Regular timing, it will be 7 to 8 p.m. That is the regular timing. Okay. Initially, this will be the time for module A. Okay. Any other doubt? Yes, yes, 7 to 8 p.m. only. It will be in the evening. Yes, yes. Chaitanya, I will be accepting it. Don't worry. Okay, okay, Satish Babu. Not an issue. Fine. So I hope that all of you will be attending the live classes. Fine. Try to be attentive in these live classes, because ultimately your participation will define that whether we will excel in this examination, whether we will produce good results in this particular exam cycle or not. Along with that, try to ask a number of doubts. Right? The doubts, whatever you have, feel free to ask us in the chat section. Fine. So see you guys in the live classes. Fine. And we are looking forward to have good discussion with all of you. Okay. So let's conclude the session for today. Still, if you have any doubt, the WhatsApp group is there. You can directly ask me the questions there as well. Fine. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Chaitanya, for attending the class. Thank you, everybody, for attending the session. See you guys in the live classes.